That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, this is on.
You have to press it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Oh, I don't have that. I don't.
227.
Oh, man.
20,
It's 177.
Everybody else has to have.
why does it say 2020?
Okay, everybody, welcome to
Oh,
the Village of
it's probably
Skokie
just a
Appearance
typo.
Commission meeting for February 28th. This is a special meeting because we had a problem at our attempted meeting in February where I had COVID and we just didn't have enough people here to run a meeting. So I apologize for any of those who have to come back. In my 25-ish years, that could be the first time that's ever happened. So again, we apologize. When you checked in to get your building permit, you were given instructions what we're here for today. We're going to be talking, there's 3 commercial cases, have to do with facades. There's 1 residential case. We're going to be going in order of the 2 cases that were passed over last case. So it's going to be, pardon me, everyone. It's going to go 8018 Lincoln, it'll be the first case, 7909 Lincoln will be the second case. Then we'll go 5111 Brummel, and then we're going to go 4043 Main Street. So you know what your addresses are. When, on the residential cases, neighbors on either side or around, that there's been postings about this meeting. If there's any such concerned neighbors for the Brummel case, or any of the cases up here, when I call the petitioner, please come up and we'll hear your comments as well. We used to have 2 podiums back in the day. Now we have 1. Another new surprise.
I apologize, I don't know where the other one is at.
It probably got stolen. So, okay, with that said, anybody who's going to present a case and testify tonight might be talking. Please stand up and be sworn in. Raise your right hand.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you.
So when I call your case, please come up to the podium. The commissioner who just swore you in will be reading comments we get from the village's staff. Do you have those handy? Okay, good, you separated them, good, because this is a different looking packet than what we're used to, but we're getting through it. That said, before we start our cases, anybody want to make a motion to approve the minutes from the December meeting?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of December 20th, 2022.
Anybody second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So passed. Last bit of warning before we get going, this is all live TV. I don't know what the viewership is, but you are being recorded, so. With that, we're going to go right in and call the case. Case number 2024-001A, 8018 Lincoln Avenue for a commercial facade.
Overall, staff has no objections to the proposed facade change as long as the overhead/roll-up doors have transparent panels. The detail submitted on the door was hard to read, and the drawing makes it look like a door that is typically found on a detached garage. Any code and permitting requirements will also need to be adhered to.
Is this an existing business? Or a new business? What's the name of the business?
El Fuego?
Oh, restaurant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right next to Cigar King.
Yeah.
We closed a couple months, I'm sorry, it's a long story, but we're,
Don't, hey, it's all good. I don't have any comment. Anybody else have any comment?
So is that all you're doing, is swapping out fixed windows with an overhead garage?
yes.
Translucent panels, like as requested? Okay.
The color of the garage itself, the aluminum, or,
It's gonna be black,
excellent,
Yes.
thanks.
it's gonna match the outside too. The sample is up. Yeah, it's right there.
Okay, somebody make a motion.
I'll make a motion that a certificate of appropriateness be granted in case number 2024-001A at 8018 Lincoln as presented.
Anybody second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So passed. All right, thank you very much.
Good luck.
Sorry for our issues
Delay.
last.
I'm glad you guys made it back here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys for coming out and out there, appreciate it.
Thank you. Case 2024-002A at 7909 Lincoln, also for a commercial facade.
The staff has no objections to the proposed facade changes, as long as the windows along Lincoln Avenue utilize clear, transparent glass per zoning chapter requirements. The windows along the south facade are allowed as long as they meet all building and/or fire code requirements.
This is,
So this is just a block down, right?
Yeah.
On the other side of the street.
Yeah, we saw it, I think, 3 or 4 months ago. It was in more of an office type of use.
So it's probably like straight east of here, right?
Yep. Next to the little parking lot at Skokie House, kind of at
Okay.
that corner.
Hello, ladies. We got a last-minute change in the program. We have the lead actress is now is sick today. Time I'll split.
So the sign is what's different. So the sign, instead of being on the parapet there, is now like a hanging, like a blade sign?
The village gave us a suggestion to make a blade sign sample, just to show you guys a quote.
I think it's more effective because, for traffic, because you're gonna see it driving by versus this, you have to stop and,
That's what we do.
yeah. Is there any issues with hanging over the right of way?
Maybe it was the
I'd have to verify with the sign inspector. But if it is approved, then we would go through the regular channels with permitting and.
Okay.
I'm confused. This is now a blade sign instead of, what am I seeing up here? Is this what's being proposed?
So what on the screen is the original proposal to have a standard wall sign.
Uh-huh.
There were some staff discussions, and I know this is the proposed blade sign, which would potentially replace the wall sign.
Correct.
And
So
why the
it's one or the other, or
So-
either or.
So, Joe, you seem familiar with this. Did this come before us while I was gone?
No, well, we saw it last week, or it was in the packet 2 weeks ago. for the
Oh,
meeting.
okay, you got a preview of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and this sign was, it's a pretty standard,
Right.
what we typically see in a strip mall. And this being downtown, this seems more appropriate to me, because not only is it more pedestrian friendly, but as you're driving around going northbound on Lincoln, you're gonna see it versus essentially having to stop and look up in
So-
a car.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So as a resident of the village and somebody who occasionally is in that area, I don't even know what you do by looking at either of these signs. So what is the business?
It's a hot pot restaurant?
Oh, it's a restaurant.
Yes.
It says Rotary Hot Pot. So does that, okay, that refers to a cuisine that I'm not familiar with. Okay, that's right, because hotspot to me means, all right, they got Wi-Fi, so let's get in there.
And a liquor
Okay.
license.
And, yeah.
signage on the south face,
Yes,
yeah?
that's it.
Is that it there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense too.
So are we just looking at the sign, though? Because the commentary talks about the glass and the windows and so on.
Oh yeah, the renderings, the windows are just dark, but we're planning on having it pretty see-through. We do want a slight tint on it, but for the most part, it won't be dark.
Because the face is white.
Well, I would suggest to make it so you can see through, because if it looks like that, it'll be like that gaming place on Skokie Boulevard, and you won't know what the heck is going on in there.
Yeah, no, definitely not that dark.
Okay.
So that-
And restaurants, you want to be able to see activity.
Correct. You want to see that there's actually people in there dining,
Right.
so.
That other place I mentioned scares me as I drive by it.
Fun
And-
inside. Should
I've
go.
never, I've.
Should go.
Okay, so, all right.
And it-
And you're painting the brick, or?
That was gonna be my question.
Yeah,
Okay.
the front, but not the side. The
Right.
side is usually like that.
So, can I take a look at the side view again? Would you, okay, so, hang on a minute, go back all the way to, I want to see the left part of this drawing, Brian. So you are gonna return that paint a foot or so, like I see there, correct?
Around the corner? Just
Yeah.
that.
Right, okay.
Maybe that one.
Is the front of the building a face brick and the side of the building a common brick?
The side is definitely common brick, the front I'm not.
Okay,
It's a yellow,
Yeah,
it's
but
like a
I-
yellow brick.
yeah.
It's a face brick, but it's kind of that real pale yellow.
I'm okay with it, if everybody else is okay with it. If it was me, I'd run that band of gray across the top where the sign is, but I'm okay with it just like this too.
Across the top above it.
Yeah, I would take the gray all the way around, above the windows, just above the windows, but just to make it, the sign pop out a little more, but, and I'm okay if you wanna do that, or if you don't wanna do it, but my suggestion would be, you run that, like I just said, the color gray across the top above the windows.
Is
I don't know.
that sign backlit, or is it just?
Yeah, it's gonna be illuminated.
Just a thought. Anybody else have any comment?
Looks okay to me.
Right, go ahead, Tom. You're the last to speak.
All right, there you go. I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted for case number 2024-002A, 7909 Lincoln Avenue, as presented, with the option of extending the the gray painted brick around the corner, above the windows, at the owner's option.
Anybody second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No
Really
opposed.
looking forward to.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks. Pardon me. Now we're gonna go to the residential case, case number 2024-003A at 5111 Brummel Street, a residential first and second floor addition.
The staff has a few concerns about the proposed addition. The bay window in the rear yard appears to be cut off now that the addition is there. The rear elevation looks as though there are two different buildings joined together when it should look like one unified building. Staff is unsure what exact color the siding is going to be and has concerns about its compatibility with the existing home. Good evening.
Thank you.
But we'll just fire some questions before you,
That's fine.
before you,
Can I make one comment?
Yes, you may.
That is, we updated, we made a color change yesterday.
yeah, I mean, my first guy, because we get it in advance of this stuff, and I look, I go, okay, this is one where the renderings are killing them. Because your red brick looks like a barn, the barn red,
Yeah,
you know what I
it's
mean?
not, it was limited,
Right.
palette.
Okay.
So I brought some samples of the hardy board.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, because this yellow looks,
It's bright yellow.
right.
Yeah, if you look, there's another.
Oh, here it is, okay,
You got it? Okay.
yeah.
So that gives you a sense of what the existing color of the existing limestone is. And then those are those two hardy boards
Okay,
go together. So the khaki one is close to the limestone, and the white one would be the trim.
the lighter one, okay.
Yeah.
Here you go. So, as you guys know, rendering colors are so very difficult
Yeah,
to,
very difficult.
to get to match. So I'm not, me personally, I'm not overly concerned at all about the colors that I see on this drawing, because I trust that you're gonna make them harmonious based on those, but we'll read those into the record when we get through this case. I'll just give you my opinion as I look at, first of all, I think it's cool. I think it looks cool from the front elevation looks cool. You're not doing anything other than what is above the garage when I'm looking at it with the little
Right.
shed roof. I think the side is awesome. You're doing what you can to with the, I think that looks good. And I actually think the back looks fine as well. The rear, it just draws funny in two dimensions.
Right.
And so my opinion is, I can understand where staff looks at this and kind of thinks like, oh, this all looks crazy because of the colors and stuff, but I think that when the colors get harmonious, this is, that's a very difficult house to put an addition on. And not make it look like an addition, but I don't know. So those are my comments. I don't know if anybody else has any comments on top of that.
I agree. I think from the front, it looks like it's gonna fit in really well with the rest of the neighborhood. And as far as the back goes, yeah, it's a little funky, but, I think it's, the protrusion of the family room is gonna kind of offset that kind of shed, little doghouse kind of
Right.
thing that carries over from the front, that makes it look, gives it context. So you're kind of stuck. And the family room with the, kind of that jaunty angle is probably really nice inside. So from a rear, it looks like you've got a skylight in the family room, so you're gonna get lots of light with the angled roof. It seems like it's an odd look in two dimension.
Indeed.
Basically, everything I just said.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Let me
No,
say
no,
it
no, no,
again.
no, no,
I'll
no,
say
but I
it
mean,
again.
no, but I mean, no, that's good.
I'm
I-
happy to
no,
repeat
but I mean,
myself,
it's
you
like,
know that.
it's like, what are you gonna do with the back? You can't,
Yeah.
you can't.
And the bay window, actually, I kind of like the way it kind of blends together, honestly,
Yeah.
by taking on part of it.
It dies into it, yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any comments?
I'm good.
Joe, fire away.
All right, I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted for case number, that's all the way in the front, 2024-003A at 5111 Brummel Street, as presented.
Anybody second?
As presented at the meeting tonight, correct?
Correct,
Yes.
yeah, with the sample colors as presented as well.
Yeah, with this.
Right.
Yeah.
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No opposed, so pass.
Thank you very
Good,
much.
yeah, sure, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the final case of the evening, case number 2024-004A at 4043 Main Street. It's also a commercial facade.
A facade request was previously approved at the October 11, 2023 Appearance Commission meeting. Staff prefers the facade presented and approved by the Appearance Commission at its October 11 meeting. This proposal is still an improvement over the existing conditions, doesn't have the appeal the previously approved plan did.
Is there a Mark Penning in the meeting? No, okay. So we received an email comment from somebody named Mark Penning, and I'm not going to disclose the address, but they are not here to verify that they're this comment, so I'm not going to read it in, but Brian will include it in the file for future reference. All right, let's talk about what we got here. Show us the old, show us the new.
This was what was approved at the October Appearance Commission,
What's the address again? I'm sorry.
4043 Main Street. It's at two combined spots. I believe it used to be the Assyrian Pharmacy, 4043 and 4045 Main,
Yeah, what's Crawford, 37?
4,000.
Yes,
Oh,
this
so
is
this
west
is-
of Keystone.
Okay. On the south side of the street?
Yes.
Correct. So that's
Original.
original approved.
This is the new.
So I gotta see what's different.
It's the cornice along the top is this most recent one has much more cove material. Whereas the original is much more sleek and kind of it's much more simple.
There's also a double band there.
You can't do a side by side, huh?
Uh,
If you can't, that's fine. I just need,
I could open up the old.
no. Oh, do you have the original on here?
This is the original.
It's very heavy.
Well, tell me what's different.
Look at the molding on the top.
I like whatever the simpler one. Oh, I see. Oh, you gotta.
Sir, why don't you
Wait
explain
a
what you've
minute.
done?
This one is,
Go walk over to the screen and talk.
No, I need him in the mic to pick it up.
Huh? Oh,
I need him in the mic.
all right.
So I'm Mohammed Nasib, I'm the owner of this project. First of all, thank you, Brian, for putting all this thing together. And thank you for the commission members for
Sure.
allowing me to come and present myself over here. So, first of all, I want to apologize for the change in the scope of our project that we had initially presented. in the last meeting, so this is what we had presented before. So as you can see, those brackets, so there was supposed to be.
He needs you mic'd up.
Okay, I can use it?
Yeah.
Thank you. So as you can see, there was a canopy here, which was being held together by these brackets that are pulling it up. So, this was our plan, that we want to have a nice, beautiful appearance of our facade with a canopy and, recessed lights shining on the floor from underneath. But when the,
So this was the original.
This was the original one. So but when the contractor started looking into the project and everything and taking into consideration that the weight of this canopy that is 48 feet long and 4 feet deep was going to be in excess of more than 400 pounds, and he did not think that this is going to be held securely by these brackets, and also because of the significant glass load down there. So this was his major concern. It's the liability issue, that if, God forbid, if this canopy falls, it's going to cause.
Sure, I see that, I
Yeah.
get that, I
So,
get that.
so then we said, okay, after we have presented such a beautiful plan, what can we do to make sure that it does not it looks as good as it was as we presented? So we went around and looked in the neighborhood to see what other facades were, and our team found that the facade from the catering company, Zelda's catering company has a facade that will be, significantly better and more and safer. So this is what we came up with then. So as you can see, there's no canopy there, and this facade now has, can you show it next?
Does that facade now protrude out?
Yes, sir.
There.
It's now protruded out.
Okay,
And it's now, there's no support needed. All around you have, steel frame that is going to be holding it together. So this is much safer, and to me, I think, it looks aesthetically as good as the other one was, or even better, with these canopy So the only thing that we are requesting for the commission is to approve this new facade for the structural integrity of our project.
So the additional comments, the banding underneath, that's more signage.
now I get this one, go back to the original, please. Because you're trying to sneak in some more, the signage here, we like, but now on the one you had, now you're slipping in another thing of signage on us.
Yeah, on the sign, our team thought that since most of it, our business is going to be Indo-Pakistani grocery and catering and carry out, so they presented this sign for getting a permit, and the permit was approved.
So what does the sign people say about this sign?
It was approved based on the size of the,
Okay.
I like it better.
the size of the signage and the size of
Better
the
weight.
percent of the percent that says Indo-Pak Grocery Catering and Carryout was approved due to the percent of the overall sign.
Anybody else?
If it was
have any-
larger, it wouldn't be approved.
So previously, the storefront and the upper facade were in basically the same plane, and now the facade, the upper facade extends beyond the storefront by how much?
This is going to be 3 feet.
3 feet?
Previously, the canopy was going to be 4 feet and 48 feet long in length.
That's okay to me.
So now it will be 3 feet and.
No, it'll be 3 feet deep and, of course, the width.
Whatever the expanse is,
Yeah.
40 some odd feet.
And for the existing one, there were some support from the, it's a cantilever type, right? So on the, you can see in the original, you can see some hangers in that way.
So the original plan was to have a canopy, and the canopy was getting the support from these brackets at the top. But this new plan, which extends forward, does not need any of these because it's all steel frame. Can you go to the next slide, sir? Right?
So can you make it?
Yeah, this one, as you can see, this is all steel frame, all around supported. And this does not need anything to pull it back against the wall extension.
It's pretty to have a canopy, but the uncertainty of what might happen is
Exactly, I mean, that was,
reasonable.
we wanted it to be very unique, we wanted it to be aesthetically very pleasant, and that was the plan initially, yeah. And I think this will also look very good. And it actually goes along with the architecture and the blocks, so because we're looking at a building that will be, so whatever we do, we did not want to make it look different than what the surrounding buildings were. And unfortunately, there's nothing really good around us. The best building was the Zelda Sketch.
Careful, that's my neighborhood.
Was the canopy, was the canopy existing? Is it,
No, there was nothing.
so
No.
the original intention was to build the canopy?
Yes, the original intention was actually.
But your contractor suggested that the
They were-
tiebacks were not sufficient to,
Secure the
to
canopy.
suspend it with.
Yes.
Yeah, he received a permit to build the original approved one. We have a permit on record for that.
Okay.
And it
And
had
permit-
structural
permit
analysis
was
done.
applied-
and-
And,
permit was
and so it
applied
was
for and
reviewed
issued.
by the structural engineer, right? You had somebody design it for you?
Yeah,
Um,
this was initially.
And you didn't trust him?
I'm sorry?
You didn't trust your engineer to design it properly?
I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I
we
don't
do
wanna
have there's a permit that's been approved, and things started getting built, constructed differently than
Sure,
what was
Oh.
approved.
Oh. That's a new,
There's a new
Sorry?
wrinkle.
So they started framing it out, and we denied, I believe an inspection was denied because it wasn't matching this, it was matching
Oh, that's real.
this.
Okay, different story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but when it came to actually started doing it, the contractor did not think that this is going to be, so and it's actually gonna cost us a little bit more money by doing this way. So he was really concerned about the structural integrity of the project, and that was for me a liability issue, and that's why we are here requesting to approve the more secure structure that is appearing now. Yes, I
Well,
totally agree.
Were you the engineer?
No, no.
So
I'm a
your
physician.
liability would be limited.
Yeah.
Was it just a matter of finance?
No, not at all.
No?
No, you mean to do it this way, it'd be less expensive? No, not at all. It was just the structural integrity and the strength of the,
I'm not buying
plan.
that. I'm not buying that.
yeah.
You have an engineer who designed it. I have a lot of faith in engineers. They generally know what they're
It
doing.
was not an engineer, it was.
Brian, were there S drawings in the permit set? Were there structural drawings in the permit set?
They were at least stamped by an architect. An architect at least reviewed and approved, and then our main building reviewer, Steve Klocko, reviewed what was submitted and approved it.
And to your point, Tom, it would seem to me that there would be more weight to this structure than there would be a canopy, but, and you're tying it back to the same
Well
canopy.
secured, that I
Sure.
know.
Sorry? So, they are saying because they now have a steel, they're gonna be having all steel framed, and nothing is going to be hanging, and that canopy weight was significantly high. And I think you're right that the architect that designed this, did not take into consideration the load that's going to be, especially with all the glass that is at the bottom. So the main concern was the liability issue, that God forbid if this canopy drops or falls, we are going to have.
Yeah, sir,
Yeah.
we get your concern. The problem is, we got a couple problems. One, you proceeded without approval.
And I've.
I know, I hear it all the time. We apologize, I'm sorry. They told us we could, whatever. But that always doesn't go over well with us.
I totally agree.
So
I totally agree.
I don't know that,
And
quite honestly, had you not done that, we could sit here and we could talk about this, but I don't know what to, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
So, I want to let the commission members know that I was actually on vacation during the time when my team did this. And they were really concerned, and I was out of the country actually, and,
Whatever, you got phones, we got email, we got all sorts of stuff, so,
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you, because this is not the same thing as what was approved already.
yeah, I know, I totally agree that this is not what was approved, but this is what we are now requesting for approval because of the structural integrity and the, risk.
So, all right, so, whatever, let's go back to the original drawing, Brian. I think you're gonna have to go talk to your architect,
Sorry.
come back next project, or next meeting, and tell them that we like the first project, the first view. We like the first view, and if he's afraid of, you need to talk to, have him get a hold of a structural engineer and verify that this will work, so that you're comfortable with it. Is there even another view, Brian, like a little more side view than just straight on?
You mean the old one?
No,
The
the,
new
the,
one.
no,
The
no,
old one.
the,
The old
the
one.
one that you're going to build,
Yeah, this
that
one,
one.
this one, yes.
No, the one that you're going to build.
This is the one.
No, this is not the one you're going to build.
That's-
That's the one you
that's
wanna
the
build.
revo-
Yeah, this is
The one you're going to build is
Okay.
going to be more like this one. Okay, so that's,
That-
I don't know how,
That's the best side view.
right, so how far does that thing, what's the material of the awning? Or of the,
Canopy.
what's the material of the canopy?
Oh, the canopy, I'm not really sure what, it
Alright.
was-
So, my suggestion is you go back to your architect, tell him, we like this, and he's got to instill confidence in you that it's not going to fall down, whether it's with the structural engineer, and that's between your architect and the village's review people to make sure it's going to be safe.
I don't know, you don't have anything from an architect or an engineer in regards to this design that it won't work, do you?
You just have a contractor go, hey, it's heavy, it's going to fall.
Yes,
Right, well, whatever. I'm a contractor, and I deal with architects and engineers all the time. And a contractor should say to the architect, you
Check the
know,
load.
check, you verify that this is gonna work, architect. You know what I mean? So that's your dispute. So you can't come here to us and go, hey, we wanna change all this because my contractor says it's too heavy. You know, you've paid an architect,
yes,
a registered licensed architect,
yes.
to design this.
And actually paid the architect again for doing the new design.
Well, right, but, well, again, shame on you and shame on your team, right?
Yeah,
Because you proceeded without approval, right?
absolutely.
So my suggestion is, go back to him, we'll see you again next meeting, and either he can verify he can do this, or he's gotta make changes to it that's very similar to this. If you don't even know the material of the canopy, is it steel, is it aluminum, is it anodized aluminum, is it
We had-
canvas, you
We
know?
had initially thought about having a canvas, but then we wanted the recessed lights to show down
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Because the area is so
Right.
dark,
Mhm.
it's pitch dark there. At nighttime, actually, our team,
Mhm.
now, since they have the temporary permit, they have to lock it from inside because it's so dark.
Right.
So that's the reason why we want to have recessed lights and not a cheap, cloth canopy. So initially, our plan was to do it the way we wanted to. But, yes, you're right, I'm not an
Yeah.
engineer, I'm a cardiologist, this is not even my area of
Right.
expertise. But I have interest in this area, I'm from actually Missouri, so I'm an out-of-state investor. We like the area, we started our business initially on 5158 Main Street, and honestly, so within 2 years, with the investment that we made there, we had gross revenues of more than 300%.
That's great.
And now, I can guarantee you, once this is done, the way we are asking you now, it'll be high class and high touch. And looking from outside at the present time, I agree that we have inventory showing out, that it's not very aesthetically pleasant. We are going to make everything possible to make it look aesthetically as good as it looks on the picture, but as you know, these are just artist renderings. So we have some posters, we plan to take them down. We had plans that were initially there you can see the seating arrangements for people to
Yeah,
sit
yeah.
there. We want to have all of those things, so that the people from the street would want to come in.
Right,
So the idea was, when we met with the team, your team to begin with, to have support, was to work with the city, with the village, and make the street more vibrant and more lively.
And I would,
the plan is-
and if I may, sir, if I may, I think both of your designs accomplish that. And I think that, you know, the whole notion of structural concern is not working for me, and I suspect for others on the panel. Both designs look great. If you had come to us having second thoughts about your original design, we probably would approve it. But we take it very seriously that changes are made on the fly without our knowledge. And that's why, since you hung your hat on a structural concern, we want you to reevaluate your structural integrity of the original design. And if you find it to be flawed, fine. Bring that information to us. If the original design is not flawed, we're going to expect you to build it that way.
So that's where we're at, okay? So work with your architect and the village staff here, and hopefully if you can turn that around in a couple of weeks, that progress, then we'll see you at the next meeting. You're not gonna be able to sit here and talk us into approving this tonight, okay? So let's just get that out of the way, okay? It's just not gonna happen.
Okay, I'm just, you know.
And the commercial aspect of this is great and a great business, we buy all that, that's all fine, all right? But to us, it's not relevant. What's relevant is, we want that one design built if you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we have tried our best, we've been back and forth, talked to them, and they kept on telling me that, Dr. Steve, this is.
Now, you don't have to show it.
Again, I don't know who back and forth is, is this, I don't know. I don't know. Your back and forth started with you having an inspection, and the village going out and saying, you're not building what's approved. So don't say that you've been going back and forth.
With my team.
Your team, that's fine, but don't make it sound like it's the village.
No,
Okay,
absolutely
so,
not.
so
And
you
that's
have,
where I said that-
so now you have clear direction. Here's your clear direction, and this will be the last words I say tonight before I say adjourned. The last words I'm gonna say to you is, talk to your architect and your team, okay? And if your architect needs to get a structural analysis done, he should get that done, and then they should get your documents into the village before the deadline for the next meeting, which is 2 weeks before the next, I don't,
Next meeting's March 27th due to the conflict we had with the
Okay,
13th.
so-
So anything would
so
have to
you-
be submitted by the 13th.
okay?
March 27th?
Yeah,
March 27th.
okay?
All right, so whatever the structure, whatever the architect and the structural engineer they come up with, I need to present that report to the.
If I were you,
Yes.
I would go, architect,
Yes.
the appearance commission wants our original design. Our contractor says we can't build the original design. Who's wrong, architect? Is it the contractor or is it you? You meaning the architect,
The architect, right,
okay? And the architect's gonna go, the contractor's crazy.
I see.
Or he's gonna go, the contractor's right. We don't, all I hear is you saying, well, you know, the contractor says, we need more documentation and the village needs to get it before we get it, okay? If he designed it's no different than a bridge going across the canal. If somebody designs a bridge that's gonna fail, nobody wants it built, okay? But you gotta go through all of the documentation, okay?
Sure.
So have your architect, it's, you know, we're gonna have to come to some conclusion here at the next meeting,
So-
okay?
If
So
the
that's the
architect-
clear direction. Is there anybody, is I confusing to anybody?
You're right.
Okay, so we're done?
Yeah.
Good, we're done,
One last question.
yes.
If the architect says that this is not, the contractor is right,
Then you should fire the architect and sue him. But that's a legal question between you and the
Right.
architect.
but then with the.
And convince us that the new design is better.
Right.
Only if the other is unbuildable.
And plus, it should be structurally safe, you know,
Right.
because in
Yeah.
new design,
That the structural integrity is the most important
you
thing.
are
and
not
that's-
there, so you don't know that which type of material they already used.
Okay?
So it will be, structure engineers should give the approval for that design. It is safe.
Great, thank you very much, okay? All right. Any other comments, concerns, queries? No? Okay, meeting's adjourned at 8:08. Mike's right. So, let me get this clear. You said we're not having the regular March meeting, it got backed up?
We have a reception.
Oh. That is correct. I do. It took a lot of,
So we're having the
painkillers
meeting at
and
the
stuff.
end of March?
it's March 27th because,
turned off?
On 13th,
because there's a village, we have our banquet
Oh,
on,
13.
oh.
what's the banquet date?
13.
we are supposed to say any other 50.
Oh, the board's